What's up, everybody? It's Andre B, founder of A Forever 813, back with one more market update. It's December 20th, 2025, Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and talk about the previous week. So, a couple of things that came up on my radar were number one, President Trump's two addresses to the nation. We had Nike have an earnings report. We also had some market volatility throughout all sectors. So let's go ahead and get into that, right? So we got the chart pulled up right here, right? And the current price is 680.59. So I don't know if you remember, but the other day we were down to 671. We had, the price came down. But because of President Trump speaking and kind of talking about different things, the market had a spike, and it was in all different sectors. We had stocks like DoorDash kind of rally, stocks like Apple. What else? We had Oracle and AMD kind of have a push, this past week, just because of President Trump speaking, and sometimes just is how the market reacts, right? But we still haven't passed that threshold of the resistance at 689. So we still have a ways to go, but I believe if we continue to have catalysts, we can push past that 689 level. But anyway, let's go over what President Trump said, or at least some of the key things he said, on these speeches. So I know he talked a bit about the immigration and basically the border, how he kind of cleaned up the border, and the past administration kind of was letting a whole bunch of migrants in, and he inherited a mess, which I don't know if that's true or not. I let the fact checkers do the fact checking. But he's also claiming that his administration has now created the strongest border in the history of our country. Once again, don't know if that's true or not. I'll let the fact checkers do the fact checking. He also talked about the economy, inflation, and different prices, how certain prices are going down and whatnot, referring to gas and car prices, hotel rates. Now, you guys gotta let me know if that's true or not. Now, I will say the gas prices here in Colorado have decreased. Now, what's the reason for that? I don't know, but I was just at the gas station the other day, and it was only $1.95. So that's unheard of, because a few months ago it was in the $3. So I'm very, very grateful. Now, this was a big one right here. Now, a lot of you active duty soldiers probably were very, very happy about this, but the $1,776 payment to all active duty soldiers, because the country was founded in 1776, so that's what the payments are referring to. President Trump talked about that, and I believe he said the money came from tariffs. And that was another big thing he talked about in this speech as well, about the tariffs. Oh, and if you guys remember April 9th, Liberation Day, those tariffs were something else. But the good thing is, if you were on the right side of those days, you would be in a good position. Now, some people who had all their funds and tied up in the market and S&P during that time probably panicking. But the rebound was just exponential. Look where we're at now. $680. April 9th, we were in the 450 area. It's amazing. But let's see, what else did we talk about? Oh, I think he touched a bit on transgender participation in sports, crime, law enforcement, different policies in schools, right? Now, I want you guys to go and watch it yourself if you want to. I don't want you to get information from me or anyone else. Just watch it for yourself. And of course, formulate your own opinion. But he also claimed that, he was ending war in Gaza. He's settled multiple conflicts. The Iran nuclear threat, how he said he completed that. So he talked about a lot of stuff. And fake news, of course, and the Democrats. And I can go on and on, but you guys are gonna watch the show. But let's talk about Nike's earnings report, right? And I think that's the last thing we're going to talk about today. And let's go ahead and pull up that chart. Boom. So we got trading view pulled up, I don't want this, sorry. And wow. So they posted earnings, right? And it wasn't the best, just to say the least. So now they were, for the earnings, was about $67, right, on December 16th. And now they're at $58.71, which is a big, big difference. And we'll have to see if they recover or not. But, they got a new CEO and they're doing a lot of different things. So, who knows? But I want to talk about some of the notables on my watch list real quick, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I already wrote everything on my board that I want to look at. So, number one, you want to look at DraftKings, right? That ticker symbol is DKNG. So, I got a lot of stuff on my watch list, don't judge me. Okay, so right now we're sitting at 34.21, right? But I don't know if you guys know this, but on every commercial, every fight, all this stuff, they're always promoting what? Sports betting, right? DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks. I just think it's just some tip you just should invest in, because instead of actually doing the sports betting, you can be the smart person and just be buying the actual stocks or the shares of this company and be making the money with the company, and much, much, much less risk and higher return. Think about that. Next, we have AMD. Now, if you guys know anything about chips, like GPUs and things like that, I don't know much about them, but they're the big thing, and a lot of everything runs on them. So AMD is a very good company, but I think the reason why I put it on my list for this week to check out for it, because they came all the way down here to 197, right? And that was on December 17th. And I think after, President Trump's speech or whatever, by the end of the week, they were at $213. 197 to 213. That's like a $16 increase in a week. Pretty good, right? Next, we have Netflix. And they recently did a stock split, because Netflix was around like $1,100, $1,200, but they did a split. And when I saw their stock price recently, I was just flabbergasted. I'm like, dang, why is this thing so low? But they did a stock split. I'm pulling it up. So they didn't really do anything crazy this week, but they're just a notable on watch list because they're Netflix. I think they're just going to continue to. Oh, that's right, because they had that big Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight. I hope y'all watched that. I see it. It was really, really good. The co-main event with the two women was spectacular, and the main event with Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was spectacular. Anthony came out victorious, but say that for another day. But yeah, I think Netflix they're doing some big things. Remember, they just bought Warner Brothers about a week or two ago. So keep an eye out. You heard it here first. And we got a couple more. DJT. Now, this is an interesting stock. So this is DJT, Trump Media and Technology, right? And this is basically Donald Trump's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's basically something to do with Donald Trump and his media company and stuff. But basically, it had a spike. It was sitting around the $10.37 range, and now it had a spike up to $17.07 on the 19th. And let's see why. See, I like that they have a little news here. And basically on here on Webull, you can see the news, what happened in this top. And Trump Media and Technology signs definitive merger agreement with TAE Technologies. So, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. Next, we got DoorDash. I think I just had them on there because, I think I had them on the list because they had a spike here on the 18th. They closed at 221, and now they're sitting at 234. So I think they just had a nice catalyst. So just keep an eye out on that to get some support and resistance. And that's really all I have for my watch list. We can do a quick look at the S&P 500 and we can do some support and resistance real quick. Wow. So last week, let's do 5-day range, perfect. Last week the low was 669.42. And now we're sitting at 680.59. What was the catalyst? President Trump speaking and addressing the nation. And that just goes to show you how news and different things like that can affect the market if you didn't know that already. But, so let's check the month out to see where the support is. It looks like the lowest it was in a month has been 650.61. So that's probably worst case scenario. If like there's some President Trump says, 100% tariffs again on China or something like that, we can come down that low. But from my experience, the S&P 500 usually has a range of about $10 daily. So if you're sitting at 670, you can go up to 680 or go down to 660. From my experience, but anything can happen. But yeah, that's really all I have for you for today. December 20, 2025, Saturday. We will prepare for the upcoming week tomorrow. So, curate your watch list, get ready.